G'day mates, I'm Blake Vong and I'm here with Orry Martin, Texas snake hunter and herpetology expert. So tell us what herpetology is.
Herpetology is the study of reptiles and amphibians, and specifically I like to focus my studies on snakes. Snakes tend to be my passion. I am absolutely fascinated by them. They are stunning animals, and the thing I like most about them is just they're very misunderstood. And so I really like enlightening people and just bringing to light all the awesome facts there are about snakes and trying to get people more on the side of, hey, let's try and save these guys rather than the normality of just going out and trying to slay every single one of them. And so I just feel like I'm kind of helping them and doing a good service for them because Lord knows snakes need it. Snakes need it.
Right. So where did this interest in herpetology come from?
It came from whenever I was a kid. So while most children were sitting in their bathtub with rubber duckies and sailboats, I was sitting in my bathtub with giant bullfrogs, ribbon snakes, turtles, all sorts of stuff. And I know that sounds weird, but honestly that was like a normal thing growing up in Caddo Parish, Louisiana. Everyone had animals in their house just because I was out in the middle of the country, out in the middle of nowhere, and so you had two options. You either had no friends or you played with animals, one of the two. And so I went out into the woods and caught snakes, and my dad was absolutely horrified of them. My mom loved them though, and so I would bring them home. Me and my mom would find places to hide them in the house, and that's what we would do. And I didn't really get hardcore into specifically snakes until I moved here to Texas. Once I moved to Texas, I caught my very first copperhead on the San Jacinto River, and I was hooked. I was hooked like all get out, and I went and bought the Field Guide to Texas Snakes by Alan Tennant, and that was pretty much my snake Bible. And I read that thing cover to cover all the time, every time. And while other guys were very interested in dating, going out, partying, having good times, I literally could not wait to get out of school to go catch snakes, and that's what I would do. My mission in high school was to catch a coral snake, and it never happened. Not until I got into college. Once I got into college, I started traveling, going on rattlesnake trips. Finally got my coral snake in 2007, and never forget it. Had a passion for it ever since.
So your YouTube channel, the Texas Snake Hunter, tell us where that inspiration to make that came from.
Honestly, it came from a buddy of mine. So I started filming snakes. You're doing the voice for Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin's always been one of my idols. I loved him to death, and I always wanted to be just like him. I always wanted to have a show just like him. And so a way of trying to get noticed, trying to get my own TV show was to post my own videos to YouTube. And it started gaining steam. A lot of people started liking my videos. A lot of people started saying, wow, you're doing great work. Well, you're really speaking up for the reptiles, the animals that we love the most. And we like the way you show them, not in a negative light. You show them as they really are. And so then this one gentleman named Mark Tovar, he owns a biomeld technology where he takes the shedding of snake skin and makes products from them. So that way the snake doesn't die. And so you can get really cool snake skin products that are from live snakes and you save their lives. But anyways, he contacted me and he said, hey man, I'd really like to make you a logo. You to me are like a cowboy, awesome, pistols drawn, Texas snake hunter type guy, and I really want to design you a logo. And he did. He designed me a logo all for free and asked me if I would use it in my videos, so I did, and that's when it really started picking up, was when I started designing that. And then I don't know if you guys have ever heard of rattlesnake roundups. Have you guys ever heard of those? So that's also where I got far more popularity, is just because I made a video called Rise Against Rattlesnake Roundups where I displayed the cruelty that goes on at the rattlesnake roundups, and I kind of brought to light a lot of the stuff that people didn't know was happening there. Like, you pay money to bathe your hand in rattlesnake blood, and then you put your bloody handprints on the wall, and then you sign your name in blood of rattlesnake blood. And like, little kids do this. So they have 3 5-year-old kids who go over there and pay money to sign their name in rattlesnake blood, and it's just really sick stuff. And so when I made that video and brought that to light, a lot of people got behind me on it, and now we've created our own rattlesnake festival. It's the first no kill, no slaughter, all captive bred animals, huge festival, and it's hopefully going to get bigger, and we may see an end to rattlesnake roundups. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool.
So we hear that you carry around a huge water jug everywhere you go. Why is that?
I started it in college when I started getting into weightlifting and bodybuilding. I started drinking a lot of water in order to make sure that my system was flushed. I had plenty of hydrating. Got plenty of hydration throughout the day, and just whenever you're eating that much protein, you really got to make sure you're flushing your kidneys out. You don't want to develop kidney stones, anything like that. So I just started drinking it, and at the beginning, yeah, everyone always asked, do you got to go to the bathroom a lot? Heck yeah, you did at the beginning. Like, your bladder's normally not that big, but then after a little while of doing it, like, you get used to it, and so now I can drink a gallon of water a day, and if I don't have it with me, I am really thirsty, and so I have to make sure I have it with me at all times. And so whenever people see me and they're like, hey, where's your gallon jug? I'm like, it's there, trust me, I got it, okay. And if I ever leave it, I'm dying of thirst all the time. So
So why did you decide to become a teacher, and especially a teacher here at Oak Ridge?
Well, I mean, I've graduated from the Woodlands High School. Don't slay me now. But yeah, I've always been in Conroe ISD ever since I moved over here and loved the district. I mean, I came from a rougher district in terms of my first year teaching. So you guys, kids, and some teachers even don't realize how good you have it here. This is a great school. There's great kids, great faculty, great staff. And it's been a dream to work in Conroe ISD. So getting this job was a dream come true. I absolutely love working here. But how did I start educating? I mean, I've always been doing it. Whenever I started my YouTube channel, I was educating kids, and so now I just get paid to do it. So hey, and I get summers off, so I get to go, do this during the school year, and then summers off, I get to film snakes. I mean, what more could you ask for, So it's pretty dang nice.
So I know you have a love for reptiles and especially snakes. Do you keep any of them like around the house?
Around the house in my garage. So like, I used to have them in the house, but my wife made a strict rule when we bought a new house: no snakes in the house. So I currently have 7 or 8 snakes. Not too many of them. I thinned out my collection quite a bit. I have 2 gray banded king snakes. I have 1 Trans-Pecos rat snake, 1 Mexican black king snake, 1 desert king snake, 1 western pygmy rattlesnake, and I believe, and 1 California king snake. And I have a sulcata tortoise named Bruce, and a dog. And I'm expecting my first child come this weekend. That's her due date.
Oh,
so
wow.
who knows when she'll actually get here. But I'm expecting my first child soon too.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah, we're growing a zoo. So, yep.
Perfect. So what are some tips that you could give viewers on when you come across a snake, especially if it's a poisonous one? What should you do?
Venomous. So a lot of people don't know the difference between poison and a venom. A poison is typically secreted through the skin, and it's used strictly for defensive purposes. So the easy way to remember it is if you eat it or you bite it and you die, it's poisonous. If it bites you and you die, it's venomous. So a venom is actually just modified saliva. Technically you are venomous, but just your prey item is a carbohydrate. If you bite a carb, have you guys ever had like a cracker and stuck it in your mouth? What happens to the cracker?
It melts.
It melts, exactly. Because your saliva is designed for breaking down crackers. Snakes' saliva is designed for breaking down mammals. So that they're actually venomous. And some species we have here, their venom is strictly designed for breaking down reptiles. But if you see a snake out in the wild, the best advice I can give you is just admire it. Look at it. Love it. Don't touch it. Stay away from it. But look at it. The snake will not chase you. If you want proof of that, you can watch some of my videos. You can see me interacting with them. Snakes are not bad. They're not a big deal at all. It's just people have this very irrational fear of snakes, and they give snakes a lot of credit. Like, they like to think that a snake actually has an agenda. Like, he wakes up every morning, he's like, who am I going to kill today? And he actually hunts these people out and does that. And when really snakes are animals, they work off a basic animal instinct, and that's what they're going to do. When they see you, they have several lines of defense they're going to go through. The first one being freeze. Their camouflage is immaculate, and they're going to trust it. Now, if their camouflage betrays them and you notice them, they're going to go into phase 2, which is either going to be bolt, or if they're a snake with a really extravagant defensive display, they're going to stand their ground and show off. Either way, whenever you see them, look, admire, maybe take a picture so that way you can show it to me, and then just walk away. Walk away. It's no big deal.
So Conroe ISD has a policy about social media and teachers. What are your views on social media?
So in relation to teaching or what?
Yeah, yes.
So I think social media is a great thing. Of course, if it's used responsibly. There are plenty of people who have absolutely abused it, and I guess that's why they go with the better safe than sorry type thing. But social media can be a great and brilliant way to collaborate and get ideas and keep the education going even after school hours. But again, I understand their caution with that, because you can only trust so many people, and I tend to think that I use it responsibly. I mean, I'm not out there doing anything wrong, but yes, I'm on YouTube, I have a Facebook page and all of that, and people who ever join it or like it, they get to stay up to date on the snakes I'm catching. And to me, that's a responsible way to use it. People will learn, and it's just a continued form of education outside of the school practice. So I think it's good.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, buddy.
We invite our viewers to go check out his YouTube page. We'll put a link in the description below.
Yeah, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.